from the tent where Mr. Kirk was seated. So I don't think anyone caught that image. Now, it's possible that someone shooting from the opposite direction, filming from the opposite direction, might have inadvertently caught an image of the shooter, of the building where the shot came from. And now that they've put two and two together, that would certainly help the investigators. But absent that, I'm not sure that the other cell phone videos would be of much interest. You've got several already that have been publicized showing exactly what happened. And more importantly, you have witnesses, members of Mr. Kirk's staff, his security detail, campus police who were there, and they can certainly testify about the fact that he was shot and killed while he was on the stage.
And what is your insight? How do you feel? How long do you feel that this suspect was on the roof and really, aiming and getting his shot ready? I mean, is it something where he can get on there pretty quick and establish his area and his shot that he wants to take?
I'm not sure how long he was on the roof. I'm not sure investigators know that. Although with the videos that they have of him exiting the building, I'm sure they were able to find similar videos of him entering the building. So they'll have a timeline there. I don't think he would want to be on that rooftop any longer than necessary because he's exposed to any aerial surveillance. He's potentially exposed to people that are in neighboring adjacent buildings at a same or greater height that could see him. They see him with a rifle, and they're going to call authorities. So it's my guess that he got onto that position, which he had previously staked out. Again, that's my guess. He got a clear shot, he took it, and he fled.
And lastly, Ross, what can you tell us about this weapon that he had? Can you give us some insight to our viewers on this particular one that he chose to take out this heinous crime?
From what's been reported, it was a bolt action 30-06 rifle with a scope. And with that type of weapon and a scope at a distance of about 200 yards, it doesn't take an expert to be able to hit a large target. When you're looking through the scope at that range, your intended victim is going to appear really close. And if the weapon is properly sighted in, and he had any practice, any experience using it at all, it's not surprising to me that he was able to accomplish his goal with one shot.
So sad. All right, Ross, thanks so much for joining us. Great insight and details and getting us ready for this in-demand news conference that'll be coming at the bottom of the hour. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mike. Thank you.
Take care. All right, everyone. So again, we are going to be following the latest developments as they happen. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will be bringing that to you live right here on Live Now from Fox. Let's take a 2-minute break while we have it, and more to come in just moments. Welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us. Very big news coming in just moments. We will be taking you to the FBI news conference that is expected in about 18 minutes. We will be bringing that to you on Live Now from Fox as it happens. And then we will get some analysis on the back end as well from a retired Secret Service agent who has presidential security details in his 2 decades of experience as a Secret Service to really talk about really the handling of security and as well as the manhunt that continues right now. But we are expecting some more information from FBI Director Kash Patel and others, and that will be coming up in just a little bit as well. In the meantime, just want to show you just some more sound that came out earlier today from Turning Point, right there, headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's listen in.
How many Americans have accomplished in such a short time? He's only 31. This organization that essentially has changed hearts and minds of millions of Americans, especially the youth, especially college kids. I want my kids to emulate him. He didn't hate anyone. He respected everyone. He loved his enemies. I don't think he would even consider them enemies. And he just wanted to talk to them and find the truth. He didn't berate them. He didn't disrespect them. We love watching his videos because he was such a kind Christian man that treated everyone like a brother. And his memory, his legacy is gonna last forever. I think his death has turned him into a martyr, and his cause is going to explode after this because people are really ready to fight for what they believe in and fight for the truth.
What is it like to see so many people here today?
It brings tears to my eyes. It's beautiful to see this many people coming to celebrate him. I know I never met him. Most of us never met him, but it hurts to see somebody that we respected so much lose their life in such a horrible way. So I love seeing people out here to celebrate his memory. They're praying and singing and all these flowers. It's just beautiful. And I'm sure from heaven he's watching it and loving it.
Can I get your first and last name?
Aaron Hansen.
All right, that was from earlier today, bringing that to you right outside of Turning Point in Phoenix, Arizona at the headquarters. Moments away, everyone, from the in-demand FBI news conference that will be coming up, the latest in the investigation. Here are some of the new photos that were released as well of the suspect. Now I want to take you, just show you a little bit more from Charlie Kirk's Dream City Church that he has been really dealing with so much in the past, especially when campaigns came to Arizona. They would usually go to Dream City Church. This is how they responded to the untimely death of Charlie.
How he prepares things, because this past week, I've been up with our leadership team up in Show Low for a three-day leadership summit where we're talking about the future of our church. I'm casting vision. And so I had planned for Pastor Saeed to be here tonight to lead this service, our prayer pastor here at the church. And today, as we're planning with our team, we're all gathered around, excited about the future. My wife texted me and said, "Honey, Charlie has been shot." And I told our team what had happened, and instantly there were tears, there were cries out of, "Oh no, how can this be?" And so we all gathered around the kitchen table there at our Airbnb we're staying at, and we just prayed, and we prayed for Erica, we prayed for you, the people of the church. We prayed for Charlie. At that time, we had some inside information that he was in surgery and he had just come out and he was in critical condition, but they thought they had stabilized him. And so there was that moment of great hope, like, oh God, you're moving, you're touching his body. And then we got the news about an hour and a half later that Charlie had gone on to be with the Lord. And there were so many mixed feelings among our leadership team. How could this be, God? This man's being used by you to shape and mold the young minds of America. How could this be, God? And so I want to talk to you just a few things I wrote down here tonight, and Pastor Side's going to come up and give the formal message tonight and lead us in prayer in just a moment. It's going to be a powerful time. But right from my heart, I want to share just a few thoughts that I had here tonight. I met Charlie back in 2020. It was a time when our nation was in turmoil. The nation was turned upside down. George Floyd, his death had just happened. It was, the mask up, a time of our nation. And Charlie wanted to hold a young conservatives rally here at the church, and he asked if he could lease the church out. He began attending our church. And I said, well, sure. We rent our church to a lot of different organizations. Well, about a week before that, he said, well, I've invited President Trump to come. He's agreed to come. And he thought we were going to cancel the whole thing right there. But my dad didn't raise me to be a coward. He raised me to keep my word. He signed a contract. We're going to keep our word. And so we had the rally. And I noticed some things within our leadership team. There were some people on our team who weren't walking in stride with us regarding some of these biblical values and issues. So it told me a lot about our team. And it really bothered me because I watched team members walk away. Some were released because they weren't lining up with our values. So I asked Charlie to go to lunch one day because I had this idea about really impacting America. And we had lunch, and I said, what if we came together one time a month on Wednesday nights, called it, Freedom Night in America, and we could bring the best speakers.
And that was from Dream City just yesterday, reflecting on the deep loss, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. All right, everyone, we will take another 2-minute break. We are getting closer to the in-demand news conference from the FBI and Utah officials on the latest in the investigation of an active manhunt that is going on right now for Charlie Kirk's killer. We'll be back in 2 with more. We're back here for you on Live Now from Fox. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Mike Page, getting very close now to the in-demand FBI news conference coming up. The manhunt continues for Charlie Kirk's killer. That is coming up at the bottom of the hour, and it looks like it'll pretty much be all on time here. So, again, we will be bringing that to you in just moments. I do want to now show you just a little bit ago, President Trump leaving the White House and before heading to New York City to attend the Yankees game, he did speak to the media. Let's listen in.
Are you concerned for your own safety?
Not really. I'm really concerned for our country. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved. I'm only concerned for the country. Yeah.
Mr. President, how do you want to see your supporters respond to this? Charlie Kirk was a big advocate of nonviolence and free speech on campus. How do you want your supporters to respond, sir?
I think that way. He was an advocate of nonviolence. That's the way I'd like to see people respond. Say it?
Did you speak with his family?
I did. I spoke to Erica, his wife, and we had a long talk, and she's devastated. She's absolutely devastated, as you can imagine.
Are you concerned?
Have any reporting information behind the Kirk assassination?
I don't know what you're saying.
When, Mr. President, are you planning to bring both presidents, the president of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, and president of Rwanda?
They're coming soon. They're coming soon. And as you know, I spoke to their foreign ministers. They were here a couple of weeks ago, as you remember. And they'll be coming soon. The presidents are coming very soon.
Mr. President, this week, Mr. President, I witnessed more than 60 people in DRC Congo were killed. Various people affiliated with ISIS, terrorist group, are taking advantage because of the situation going on because of the war. So what is your word for Congolese people?
Well, we're going to be talking to them. As you know, we are talking to them. It's a very violent place. It's very, very violent. For a long time, it's been going on for 30 years, 35 years even, they say. But we're going to handle it. Thank you.
On the 13% in Poland, any reaction on the Russian drones in Poland?
Can't understand.
What do you think about the media that justify the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I think it's terrible. They're going to be ashamed of themselves. It's terrible.
Why haven't they found the shooter yet, Mr. President? Are you concerned that it's been 24 hours?
Well, I hear they're making big progress, and we'll have to see what happens.
Do you have any indication of the shooter's motivation, sir?
I have an indication, yeah, but we'll let you know about that later. Thank you.
You spoke with Uzbekistan president, and this last Sunday you sent greetings to Kazakhstan. UN General Assembly is upcoming. Are you going to meet with the presidents of Central Asian countries?
President where?
Central Asian countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan.
I will be, yeah. They're very good people, and I will be doing that, yes.
So you believe the killer was a trained assassin? Usually your instincts are always on.
I'd rather not say. I think progress is being made. He's an animal, total animal. And hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him. What he did is disgraceful. Charlie Kirk was a great person, a great man, great in every way, especially with youth. And what he did, what this man did, was disgraceful. So hopefully we'll have him and we will deal with him very appropriately.
What's your reaction to Russian drone incursion into Poland?
Could have been a mistake. Could have been a mistake, but regardless, I'm not happy about anything having to do with that whole situation. But hopefully it's going to come to an end.
Mr. President, in Brazil, Bolsonaro was just found guilty by the Supreme Court. You've been very clear that you would apply sanctions. Are you thinking further sanctions to Brazil because of this Bolsonaro?
Well, I watched that trial. I know him pretty well. Foreign leader. I thought he was a good president of Brazil. And it's very surprising that could happen. That's very much like they tried to do with me, but they didn't get away with it at all. But I can only say this. I knew him as president of Brazil. He was a good man. And I don't see that happening.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Everybody's loss. I'm very sorry for your loss, first of all.
Thank you.
How do you think Israel's attack in Doha will affect the hostage deal?
You better say it a little bit. Well, where are you from?
I'm from Israel. Channel 14
Okay,
is like
go ahead, do it
Israeli
again.
Fox.
Do it
Okay.
again.
How do you think Israel's attack in Doha will affect the hostage deal?
Well, hopefully it won't affect it at all. We want the hostages out, and we want them out soon. Hopefully it won't affect it.
Mr. President, my condolences to you, my condolences on the loss of the son. How are you holding up over the last 3.5 years?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure. And I just see all the trucks. We just started, so it'll get done very nicely, and it'll be one of the best anywhere in the world, actually.
Thank you so much.
Those were the remarks there from President Trump just earlier today. We are getting very close now, folks, to the in-demand news conference that will be coming up shortly. They're doing their final mic checks for the FBI update on the hunt for Charlie Kirk's killer. I want to continue to bring you the latest, though, from Utah. Let's go out right now. We find Fox News' Kaylee Schuyler with the latest here in this investigation.
Hi, Mike. Well, it was just over an hour ago when FBI Director Kash Patel rolled onto campus here and pulled straight into the crime scene. And it was shortly after when we found out that the FBI and state was going to be having this joint news conference here in just about 2 minutes. We know earlier today that officials canceled their afternoon press conference because they said that the investigation was rapidly changing and they were waiting for Patel to get here so they could have this joint news conference. But right now, what we do know is that the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk is still on the run, but authorities have released new photos of a person of interest. Investigators out early Thursday morning combing through the rooftop where they say a sniper fired the shot that killed the conservative activist. Now they're asking for the public's help to find this man, a person of interest dressed in dark clothing, a hat, and sunglasses. And they say they recovered a high-powered bolt-action rifle they think was used by the shooter located in the woods near the college campus.
FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon.
Authorities reportedly found messages on the weapon and ammunition, though their meaning remains unclear.
We find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country.
The FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for anyone with information that leads to the identification and arrest of the gunman.
The suspect blended in well with a college institution.
The Turning Point USA CEO was a close friend and ally of President Trump, who announced he will award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously.
Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people.
This afternoon, Vice President Vance met with Kirk's family and friends here in Utah, and now Kirk's casket is back home in Phoenix. Mike.
Hopefully that's the press conference today and the announcement they have.
Many there, especially in Utah, just given everything that has happened yesterday. And yeah, we will be definitely keeping an eye here on this news conference slated to just to happen in moments. Kaylee, we appreciate it here on Live Now. All right, everyone. So we are definitely going to be keeping an eye on this in-demand news conference. It is getting close. I'm just going to stay on this shot for you so we don't miss anything soon. We will be getting the update from FBI Director Kash Patel and others on the manhunt that does continue for Charlie Kirk's killer. Let's show you, while we have the time, just a little bit more of these images that have been released within the last hour, showing some new details of the suspect here. And you can see just some more close-up shots of this individual. And police are hoping that somebody out there is going to recognize this person. And again, we don't know exactly what is going to be said at this news conference. So we are going to be definitely watching as it all unfolds here on Live Now from Fox. And on the back end of it, we will have a former Secret Service agent to talk about security measures and everything that we just saw and witnessed yesterday, and maybe what is changing for political figures and even pundits as well when it comes to this really sad nature that we are dealing with in this world now of so much political really out there of just misgivings and sometimes hate so much of speech, where now it has turned into violence and now murder of Charlie Kirk here. And again, more officials now coming, it looks like, and soon we will be getting the FBI as well as the DPS of Utah, the Department of Public Safety, and other officials. I got this other shot that We just saw more of the officials coming by right now. And again, they are getting ready and everything slated away for this update that will be happening in just a little bit. I do want to show you also earlier today, very sad moment as Erica and the second lady, as well as Vice President J.D. Vance, coming out of the Air Force Two in Arizona. And the casket now, obviously, back in Arizona. This is a live look right here at the church in Phoenix that was just took the casket in, and we saw that play out about 30 minutes ago. Again, we are going to be keeping an eye out in Utah for the latest of this major update to come. A manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer continues. Remember, just yesterday, we were dealing with a situation where they had somebody, a person of interest, and then they had to let that person go because they interrogated that person, found out that they were not responsible for the killing of Charlie Kirk. And now we are back into a square one moment, but maybe some things have changed. You know, it was interesting earlier today, they put out that there was going to be a news conference at 12:45 p.m. local time. And then about 45 minutes to go until that news conference happened, the Utah officials put out a statement saying because of the really fast developments that were happening in this case, they postponed it. We didn't know a time. Now we know the time, where that about an hour ago, we learned that this news conference was going to be happening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, just a little bit past that right now. But we do not want to go anywhere, because usually, you know what they always say, when you go to a commercial waiting for this event, that is when exactly they will pop up there and start talking. So we don't want to miss anything like that. Also, we should let you know we have a new shot here of a vigil that will be taking place in College Station at Texas A&M for Charlie Kirk. That will be happening in moments as well. So we'll be able to show you some of the highlights a little bit later as well. But you can see they have a guitarist getting ready, and this event about to begin any moment as well. Back out to Utah right now, where the FBI update will be happening in just moments, and we will be bringing this to you all on Live Now from Fox as it does happen. But yeah, we were just talking about how we were learning earlier this afternoon that there would be a news conference. It did get delayed because of some fast-moving developments. We do not know what that is just yet, but it had to be big enough for the FBI Director Kash Patel to leave New York City and come to Utah. So they were making sure that that was all put into place, so he would be able to speak and give the latest developments from the FBI side of this investigation. We should also let you know that the Marshal Service is also joined in the task here of this manhunt, because they have a fugitive that is on the loose right now. And at least that is the latest updates here that we are able to give to you on Live Now from Fox.
Certainly a good suspect, if you ask me.
You are watching Live Now from Fox, everyone. We appreciate all our viewers continuing to join us here as we are awaiting this major update from the FBI and other key resources in the state. Again, very fluid information
we're
that
waiting on the
continue
press
to come
conference
into
now. So
the
as soon as we
afternoon.
get it,
And
we'll
now
get
that we
word
are
on
in
whether
the
they got
evening,
him, or I
we
know
are
they
going
said
to be
they had a
continuing
name.
to
They
wait
didn't
for
release
it
the name
on
yet.
Live Now from
Hopefully they got him
Fox.
in custody. We'll see.
All right, everyone. We continue to bring you the latest here on Live Now from Fox. Again, waiting for these updates coming out of Utah. But I do want to bring in my next guest to help us get ready for this news conference, as well as talk about the active investigation and manhunt that continues on. Please
Exactly,
welcome
EJ.
next guest here, Jeff James. Former Secret Service agent, spent more than 2 decades as a Secret Service agent and had presidential details as well. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us this evening, and it's an honor to talk with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk right about this active investigation right now. The manhunt continues, and just a little bit ago, we were getting new information and new stills of the suspect. What can you tell us about as the FBI and others putting this information out there?
In the day that the FBI was saying they weren't ready to quite put the pictures out there yet, but then I guess it was about mid-afternoon today they started putting out the pictures. So I think maybe a lead they thought they had may have stalled, and now they're like, okay, now it's time to get the help of the general public. I wouldn't be surprised if this press conference was going to be used right now to announce that they had the identity of this person. Maybe not that they had them in custody, but that they have their identity. This is powerful stuff that you're looking at with these stills, and along with the reward they're offering, somebody's going to come forward.
Yeah, that is, I mean, we're definitely hoping for that. And once they have a name out there, Jeff, tell us how that really then shapes the investigation and puts, I would feel, maximum pressure on this individual.
Oh, for sure. And look, everything is going to continue in the background. All the forensics investigations are going to continue. All the eyewitness testimony, or I'm sorry, interviews are going to continue, because there's something that happens when people witness trauma, that their memory kind of blanks for about 24 hours and then pieces start to come back to people. That's why a lot of police departments, you'll see that they'll have a policy where if an officer's involved in a shooting, they don't interview them for facts and for 24 hours. They'll wait till the next day. So there may have been people who that police talked to yesterday who have called since and said, hey, you know what, I just remembered, I saw this guy with a backpack running this direction, or whatever it would be. So the interviews are going to continue. Like I said, the forensics are going to continue as the manhunt now begins. And I think you're going to see all the boots on the ground looking for this guy. It's going to be, I believe, almost tantamount, probably not to the level, but pretty close to when the Boston Marathon bombers were at large, and you just saw the massive manhunt. That's what Utah is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, that is a perfect way to put this. It really does have the feelings of this manhunt that really, really took Boston, and it really had everybody involved in the city and the surrounding areas. And likely and it is happening like that right now. Jeff, I want to get your insight too on what I know hindsight is 2020, but what did you think of the venue where Charlie Kirk was yesterday? And, did you see some areas where there was security flaws?
Well, I will tell you, in over 2 decades of preparing sites for people that the Secret Service protected, the hardest sites I ever did were outdoor sites. They are a monster.
Some of them,
You
yeah,
have to worry about so
absolutely.
many things that you don't worry about when you're indoors.
Especially in
Long
Congress.
lines of sight. People could lob in mortars from thousands of yards away, drones. Like, there's just so much to worry about. And look, Charlie Kirk didn't have the assets that the president had. If the president was in that same situation where he was kind of in that bowl surrounded by buildings, those buildings probably would have been cleared out. We certainly would have had snipers. We would have had ballistic glass. There would have been surveillance teams, not just in the perimeter, but outside the perimeter as well. And unfortunately, Charlie Kirk didn't have the benefit of that. If I was someone who was advising someone like Charlie Kirk, who certainly invited a divisive audience, I probably would have just begged him to have his events inside, because it's just, there's so much less you need to worry about.
And do you think that's where it probably needs to go in the future for not only political events, but like pundits that are doing political events? I mean, do you think it's going to have, an inside presence?
I don't know if it will, but I think it should. If you look at the two assassination attempts last year on President Trump, what happened to Charlie yesterday, the assassination of Prime Minister Abe in Japan, these were all outdoor events, and it really takes on a huge level of risk not having the cover of a building and the security of walls around you.
Yeah, that's so true. And going back here, Jeff,
We
to
got
this
lucky in that one
upcoming news
too.
conference, so we're hoping to learn a lot more details. But just give us some insight about as soon as the shooting happened, just how fast resources were deployed. And they're probably looking at every ring camera that they can in that neighborhood to try to get even more images of this guy.
Absolutely. So the first place they probably went was to look for that kind of asset was to the university, to their camera system, and saw what they could find there. I know there were people on the ground who were detained, so I think you saw that happen very quickly. But the resource of video, it's a little bit tough because you can't. Unless somebody's watching it live, you have to take the time to review it. But the evidence that the video seizes is it doesn't lie. It's incontrovertible. And then once they found a direction of travel and they knew this person had, where they found the weapon in the woods. All right, these are the two neighborhoods nearby. We're going to scour these neighborhoods. And again, just like we're seeing, went to citizens and said, hey, if you have some kind of video doorbell or alarm system, we'd love to take a look at it. And by that point, the good part is they know exactly who and what they're looking for, so they're going to be easy to spot. And in a residential setting like we're seeing, that probably doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, that probably made it easier. But yeah, they were approaching private citizens, businesses, even probably, I don't know what happened there in Utah. I'm not there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put out something that said, hey, if you have a dash cam and you were driving through this area, please let us know.
Yeah, that's some good insight there as well. And I just want to go back to this video that we were just showcasing to our viewers there, Jeff, from TMZ getting this. And, they showed the before and after of the shooting. And before you see the suspect here, a person of interest, and he has that walk because no doubt he's carrying that weapon.
Well, that could be it. Or I know he jumped down from a roof, so he may have injured himself, possibly, because we know he stashed the weapon in the woods when he left. So I think this may just be the limp from an injury in his haste to get down off the roof.
Yeah, just so many different moving parts, definitely here in this investigation. But you're dealing with now a public, especially really across the country, that is grieving the loss there of Charlie Kirk, and especially the ones that witnessed that. And we all saw what happened there. It's been on social media, just very devastating. And to think that, this person did it with one shot. Talk a little bit about maybe the accuracy and sharpshooter skills of this person.
Yeah, so there had to be some kind of, I don't know if there was any kind of formal training. We'll certainly know that when this person's apprehended, or they probably, if they know who it is, they probably know that already. But there was some level of practice. I've heard the quotes everywhere from a 360 to a 400-foot shot. I've heard all the way up to 200 yards. With weapon systems that are available now and sighting systems, it's not super difficult. I could train you to do that probably in a day, but it would also take some practice. It's a perishable skill that you're going to lose. So it's going to take some practice. And then you add in the fact that this person's, hopefully we're going to find out they've never killed anyone before.
No. Consequential action is bullshit. If you believe that, you're blind if you believe that. That's bullshit. You show me exactly the point at that police station that they supposedly were laughing at and shouting and wooing and wahing, and that's bullshit. That's a cover-up. They were cheering and chanting for Charlie's death. Don't let that fool you. I got a story on that coming out in the morning.
I could shoot him and get away with it, maybe.
Well, they may have been surprised because what we see in a lot of incidents like this is they don't have an egress plan. We see that in school shootings and workplace shootings where the person knows they're going to kill themselves at the end of the deed. So there may have been the intention by this person to have a firefight. Firefight with police and die that way. But maybe even surprise themselves a little bit that they were able to get away. It seemed like he had the intention to go, but there may have been in the back of his mind the idea that I'm going to go down fighting. And we'll find that out too when he's apprehended and we find out what was in his bag. If he had additional weapons, that'll indicate that.
And does after this happened to Charlie, does anything change for President Trump's detail, for Vice President J.D. Vance?
Well, I know I had a couple sources tell me that for the president's events today that commemorated September 11th, that they did add some assets. A little bit not at liberty to say specifically what, but some assets were added. But what you do need to worry about is if you had a person who was planning an attack on the president, even in the back of their mind.
No way.
Now they see this yesterday.
No way.
And that kind of flips a switch for them where they say.
Way. It was. They were cheering before. Harvey Levin made the official announcement, but as soon as Trump posted that, that's what they were all cheering about.
Visits today that the president made, they were things he had to do to commemorate September 11th, 2001. So it's good that he was undeterred in doing that.
Yeah, no doubt about that here. And for all our viewers continuing to watch with us on Live Now from Fox, we are continuing to wait for an update from the FBI director and other officials. This is Jeff James, my guest, joining us, giving us some great insight, a former Secret Service agent spending more than 20 years with the service. Thank you for all that you did to keep your protectees safe and kept America safe as well. What surprised you the most, Jeff, from yesterday's event? Obviously, the death, very, very sad for the family there of Charlie. But was there anything that really stuck out as far as his personnel, his security detail that he had?
It really didn't, just because we know that prominent people like Charlie don't have the assets to secure a site the way we would secure it for the president. For even that small venue that fit 3,000 people yesterday, you're looking easily at six figures to bring in every asset that the president would get. That's from drivers who can do tactical driving to the people who are right around him to counter snipers to ballistic glass. It's a huge, not just a huge lift, but also a huge bill that comes with that. So wasn't really surprised. And I see they're stepping to the mic, so I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
We are going to bring everyone to this. Thank you, Jeff. We are going to listen in right now on Live Now from Fox.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary Kellner. I am the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off. Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's gonna come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's gonna climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the t-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the t-shirt, blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
All right, there is the update. More than 7,000 tips have come in. They are continuing to comb through those tips, and they want the public's help. Again, they have been showing some new video, some new photos as well, and we got that new video of the suspect jumping down from the roof. I want to bring in our guest that has continued to be such a great resource for us and give us such great insight. Jeff James, former Secret Service agent. Thanks again. And Jeff, what was some of the big takeaways that you took from this news conference?
Oh, I took two away. Well, three. My first one is I am a little surprised they don't have an identity yet. I think that's coming quickly. But just a little surprised they haven't identified him yet. But that leads me to the second thing I take away from that. It was when the governor said about how law enforcement counts on the general public's help. That is just not for Charlie Kirk's murder. That is every day. Every time you see an Amber Alert, every time you see a wanted poster pop up, on your feed in in social media. Every time you see a missing child alert pop up, those are all times that law enforcement is counting on the general public's help. And we couldn't do it without you. I'll say that, I'm in my 30th year in law enforcement now, and the help we've always gotten from the general public is invaluable. And then the third thing I will say is how he said there's over 20 agencies united in this manhunt. Incredible amount of men and women out there, all with the same goal. I don't know if the suspect is listening right now, but if he is, I would tell him his best bet right now, I don't know what his end game is, but his best bet right now might be to walk into a police station and just say, "Here I am. It's time to take me in," because he's going to get found. Whether he chooses to try to go live in the woods or whether he has a friend, hole him up somewhere, somebody's going to see him and somebody's going to say something, and it's going to end for him.
Yeah, no doubt about that, especially with all these new photos and videos. I mean, look at the one they showed just moments ago of him climbing down the roof there and then jumping down and then ultimately going across the street into that field. But that was some new video that we received just moments ago from the authorities.
Yeah, and this was kind of highlighted when they were talking about the video, the recklessness of all the things he touched on along his way, grabbing the railing and letting himself down. And I know people probably don't think about the footprints they leave, but again, a valuable piece of forensic evidence. They knew they were Converses, and when they eventually catch him, if he's wearing those shoes, wear patterns on shoes are almost as damning as a fingerprint, because we all stride in our unique way. So they'll be able to figure that out too. But yeah, some recklessness on his part if he was planning a long-term escape from this. That's certainly not the way to do it.
Yeah, so true. I want to show everyone this new photo that we received just a little bit ago. I'm going to pause it because, I mean, yeah, you're so right there, Jeff. I mean, look at, I'm just going to drop the lower for a moment. No gloves on. So who knows just how many fingerprints he left behind?
Easily, right? And then his palm prints and everything else. And look, that stuff can't be faked. It can't be avoided. People ask me all the time. I have a little bit of a background in forensics, and I'll ask people, what's a better determination of identity, DNA or fingerprints? And people will always automatically say DNA. And I will say no, because twins will have the same DNA, but they will have different fingerprints. So that's a true determiner. You can't dodge your fingerprints. You are stuck with them.
Yeah, and we're just getting that new look here of this person that they are looking for. And, as these images continue to really showcase, and, I think it's just a great example, right, Jeff, of just how many cameras there is now where when you go out in public, you are on camera.
Exactly. You almost have to be in the woods or in the mountains to avoid it. And not just cameras that are going to record what people are doing as they pass by, but license plate reading cameras. And there's software now that detects weapons. And there's software that will do facial recognition. That's not every camera, but you aren't going to go into any major city without being recorded. And I say major, I'll even tell you even small cities, whether they're, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, these medium to small size cities, you're still getting recorded everywhere you go. You don't cross a bridge to get into New York or Washington, D.C. without your license plate being captured. Or if you walk across the bridge, you're being captured. It's a great tool for law enforcement. It really is.
Yeah, and I think the question now that even people just watching this, and of course the authorities, when he does leave the field area, when he's leaving, I mean, what was did he have a bicycle? Did he have a car? How did he navigate out of this area?
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm sure they've already looked at any cars that may have been left behind in the parking lot of the venue and tried to tie that to a person. I don't know what the egress plan was, and maybe he didn't have one until the last minute when he thought to himself, oh, maybe I can get out of this, because it didn't seem like jumping off of that roof was a great plan.
Yeah.
And the other part is, we see him walking in that residential area. Did he walk and get to a car? so he could kind of egress less suspiciously than if he would have hot-footed it out of the parking lot. So again, that's all things we'll figure out. But yeah, it didn't seem like there was a well thought out egress plan there.
And Jeff, lastly here, no questions were taken. They didn't want to take any questions, and Kash Patel did not speak either, the FBI director. Were you surprised by that?
No, because I feel like if they opened it to questions, we have so many, and the press they are inquiring minds. They probably could have been there for hours answering questions. So that could have been just for the sake of time, since it's getting toward the evening hours, or it just could have been like,
Isn't
hey, we're
that
going to
how
tell you
you
what we have now.
solve
We're going to ask for the
crimes,
public's
though? Is
help.
by
Now we're going to
asking
go sit back
questions,
and watch the
answering
public do their
questions, and
work and
finding out
help us
what
bring
the
this
hell
guy
is
in.
going on?
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping, that it happens fast there, so justice can be served for this individual. Jeff James, thanks so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox for the last 45 minutes. Great insight and details into this investigation. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It was my pleasure.
You take care. All right, everyone. We will take a 2-minute break on Live Now from Fox. Stay right here with us. More to come in just moments.
All right, guys. Well, that was the press conference. It wasn't what I had hoped for. I was hoping they would tell us that they had the suspect in custody. All is well. But clearly, that's not the case. Uh, as someone in the chat pointed out, we know more than they do, apparently. The FBI is horrible. They suck on this shit. We do a better investigation here than they do any day of the week, it looks like. So, yeah, that's that. I'm glad they released more video, though. They actually released video where we can see what's going on. And honestly, I think they only did that because TMZ already released the video that they found on their own. Had it not been for that, I don't think they would have released any video. But they need to rely on the public, and they need to not be so secretive about it, because our tips working with us is how they're going to find them, because they don't know what they're doing clearly. Like you said, 4chan's investigation is a day ahead of the FBI. So, I guess I'll leave it at that. But so we have some more video. I guess now they said they had a name of a person earlier that was reported. CBS reported that earlier, that the FBI has the name of the person of interest, but they are not releasing it at this time. So I don't know whether that's true or whether that was false, or they didn't take questions. They didn't mention that. They didn't let anybody ask about that. So I don't know. All we do know is they still haven't caught the guy. It's like 3 days later now. They still haven't caught the guy or girl. It's Tran, whatever it is. Obviously, we know why they did it. These Democrat politicians could try to claim that they don't know. Hold on, let's watch this visual real quick.
His mission possible. Tonight, you will hear from several organizations, including Political Science, College Republicans, Young Americans for Freedom, and Young Americans for Liberty, Pro-Life Aggies, American Conservation Coalition, Young Women for America, and a heartfelt statement from the Aggie Democrats. Without the effort that all of these organizations put forward, this event truly would not have been possible. I would also like to extend my special thanks to Texas A&M University officials, event services, and UPD for providing a safe and free environment to mourn the loss of a truly great servant of God. I know that Charlie Kirk would be so proud to see that, though he has passed, his mission of educating the youth and lessening the political divide on college campuses has not and will not stop at Texas A&M University. While I only got to meet Charlie a few times, I know that us as a university and a campus made a lasting impact on him. He embraced the Aggie culture with open arms and exemplified the core values that make us proud Aggies. He was a man that I personally looked up to. He stood for honest and peaceful discourse, the truth, and most importantly, true faith in Jesus Christ. It is for those reasons that I believe we can all take solace in the fact that Charlie is in the hands of the Lord. As the night goes on, I would ask all of you today to keep his wife and children in your thoughts and prayers. And as the days go on, continue to pray and do all you can to support his family in this time of crisis. Even though we mourn the loss of a truly exemplary American, we as a faith, a people, and a school will not be silenced by political violence. Regardless of your own beliefs, it is vital to our nation to stand united against the tyranny of the few. For these reasons, I ask that regardless of your own faith, you stay to honor the man that gave his life so we could all have a voice. I will now pass the microphone to Political Science Aggies.
Howdy. My name is Reagan Hurley, and I'm the president of Political Science Aggies. I would like to thank everyone on my team who has worked tirelessly to make this event possible. Truthfully, without the help of the officers in my organization and the collaboration of all the other student organizations, this event would not be possible. I would also like to thank the various faculty members at the Bush School and at Texas A&M who have helped us nearly every step of the way. I come to you all tonight with a heavy heart. We mourn the death of a very prominent American figure, Charlie Kirk. He was a dedicated father, husband, and leader. Charlie was a man who devoted his life to Christ, and I know he is at peace in heaven. Some of you may disagree with Charlie's ideology. However, it is that exact disagreement that motivated campuses to start talking about difficult topics that needed to be addressed. Tonight is also bigger than Charlie. This tragic event reminds us all how precious life is. Every moment we spend on this beautiful earth could be taken away from us at any moment. We need to cherish every second we get. Tonight is not a night for politics, despite us all being political organizations. Tonight we stand united and in solidarity against political violence. Not only are we Aggies, but we are also Americans united under Christ. Let this event remind us all of our humanity. We have many. Keeps cutting out. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay. We have many people here standing before you from diverse walks of life with different perspectives on faith and politics. But we all come to you in solidarity to honor Charlie Kirk and all the other victims of political violence. I would also like to mention Melissa Hortman and her husband who were killed in a political attack in Minnesota. Violence can happen on both sides of the aisle, and it is up to us, the future, to change it. I also understand that a brutal attack occurred in Evergreen High School the same day as the tragic event that took Charlie Kirk's life. My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and families of that horrible attack. People want to see change. From my experience as an individual, change comes with love. Of all my core values, loving one another is at the very front. I would like to read to you a Bible verse, 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 13 through 14. Be alert, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, and do everything in love. This verse summarizes what we all should be more of, loving one another. Our generation has the potential to be a force for good, but it's up to us to make that happen. I would also like to share with all of you a couple personal statements I received from my mentors. First is my Congressman Ronnie Jackson, who was an alumni at Texas A&M. Charlie Kirk was a remarkable man who was admired by defenders of free speech, not only in our country, but around the world. He was a devoted father, husband, and follower of Christ. He accomplished what many thought impossible. He changed the hearts and minds of young people, especially college students in our country. He did so with such passion and clarity that he inspired a generation to stand up, get involved in politics, and proudly work to lift this country higher. Now it is up to us to carry forward his mission. Don't let cynicism and political violence define your generation. Let this moment be a turning point towards something better for the future of our country. God bless you all, and God bless Charlie. I would also like to call Madison Evans to the stand to read with me a personal note from Greg Sindelar, the CEO of the Texas Public Policy Foundation. We both regard him as a mentor and a dear friend.
We gather in prayer to honor the dead, and we honor the dead because we love the living. Charlie Kirk died in the role he embraced with joy and devotion, strengthening his country, persuading his neighbor, and increasingly living a faith in God who he sees now. There are many objectives we could apply to a man who lives that life, but I'll just use one: American. As Aggies, we know what being an American means. We hear the names that muster, and we know that our dead lie on every American battlefield. Their heroism and sacrifice, to borrow from Thucydicus, woven into the stuff of other men's lives. Those names are not just memory. They are instruction. Some of us are called upon to sacrifice as they did. All of us are called upon to deserve those sacrifices.
Charlie Kirk was not an Aggie, but he had an Aggie spirit. Cheerful, relentless, determined, and patriotic. His love for his country and his beloved family blurred into a singular whole. He was a man of good heart, he was a man of good works, and he was a man of good faith. At the moment he was taken from us, I believe that goodness was enough. God bless Charlie, God bless his wife and children, and God bless the country for which he fought and fell. I now call Emma Eastlick to the stage.
Howdy, Ags. My name is Emma Claire Eastlick. I'm a sophomore political science major here at Texas A&M, and I'm also the social chair of Political Science Aggies. I stand here today to talk about unity in times of distress. 5 months ago, I was here debating Charlie Kirk himself, and now I'm here speaking at a vigil for him. I was truly blessed to have the opportunity to debate such a man. I bring this up to highlight that this is something that should affect everyone, not just one political party. Whether you support Charlie Kirk or not, at the end of the day, he leaves behind a family and friends that we send our prayers to. Political violence is not something that ever should be tolerated. In order to speak out against it, no form should ever be supported. Along with Charlie Kirk, I have a few more names I would like to highlight. They are Democratic Minnesota State Speaker of the House, Melissa Hortman, and State Senator John Hoffman, who were both shot and killed earlier this year. I also think that we should bring attention to the shooting at Evergreen High School that wounded 2 students and also the victims of 9/11. All of these instances weigh heavy on our hearts tonight. I ask that you pray not just for Charlie Kirk and his family, but all victims of political violence. As George Washington once said in his farewell address, the common and continual mischiefs of the spirit of party are sufficient to make it the interest and duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it. My advice to all of you today is to really think about this quote. Think about where political parties have brought us to. Even on a lower level, take this into account. Don't let political opinions ruin your relationships with those around you. The differences between humans are what makes life beautiful. Times like these either pull us together or push us apart. The choices are to make. Please put your political opinions aside and pray for everyone affected. Thank you.
Howdy. My name is Maggie Martini. I'm the president of Texas A&M College Republicans and executive director of the Texas Federation of College Republicans. It shows something special that we are all here today and that we all chose to show up. We all recognize the tragedy that occurred yesterday. We all know that this has gone too far. No one should have to fear political expression. The violence that occurred is deeply heartbreaking. Charlie Kirk shouldn't be dead. Those kids at Evergreen High School should never have been hurt. I'm grateful that we are together as Americans, as students, as people, to mourn these occurrences as they are, devastations, tragedies, and a tragic loss of life. Regardless of political affiliation, we all have something to mourn today. We can mourn for our country on the 24th anniversary of the largest terrorist attack in our nation's history. We can mourn for the students in Colorado, and we can mourn for the loss of a political figure who's also a husband and a father to 2 young children. Thank you for meeting us here on our bridge over the partisan divide of our own political affiliations. May we continue to see the humanity in everyone, and may we all continue to pray together for our nation, for our leaders, for our communities, and for ourselves. In an intense time of anxiety, anguish, and agony, may God bless us all, and God bless our nation. Thank you.
Howdy, my name is Audrey Delgado, and I am the president of Young Americans for Freedom. Charlie Kirk sparked a flame in our nation's youth that will never go out. He was a role model to countless people, to young men, to fathers, to husbands, and to friends. He said he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith, and he absolutely succeeded. He showed people, including myself, that standing up for your beliefs is integral in today's society. To keep the conversation going keeps our nation thriving. Above all, Charlie will be remembered for his faith. His steadfast love of Christ fueled his drive to become the most influential speaker on campuses like ours. Charlie leaves behind his beloved wife, Erica, and 2 beautiful children who will carry on his legacy along with millions of his followers. This tragedy is one that will stand the test of time for our generation, just as the terror attacks did for the previous generation just 24 years ago. We honor these victims tonight, as well as Charlie, to ensure they will never be forgotten. I know Charlie would be proud of every one of you here tonight, in unity with your neighbor, in hope for a better day, and out of shared love of the Lord. I will continue to pray for his wife and children and every friend and supporter of Charlie who is mourning. Charlie believed in us. We should continue to honor him by speaking with courage. Let us pray. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruins of souls. Amen. Thank you, and God bless.
Howdy, Ags, and good evening. My name is Audrey Lee, and I am the Young Americans for Liberty Texas A&M State Chair, as well as the chapter president for our amazing school. I know it's been said before, but I first want to thank the incredible group of people I was able to work with to pull this event off. This was a tremendous joint effort in support of Turning Point, and none of us could have made it through without the others. This evening, I want to speak about what Charlie Kirk meant to so many of us Aggies. Charlie perfectly embodied the Aggie core values of respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. And while he wasn't an Aggie in name, he certainly carried within him the Aggie spirit. He devoted his life to giving young people a voice through respectful discussion, and I believe he would be proud to see us here tonight, not as separate organizations, but standing together as one community, united in remembrance. This is undeniably a time of strong emotions. Many of us feel deep sadness, frustration, or confusion, and that's okay. But it is not the time to give in to anger or fear. This is the time to stand up and carry on Charlie's legacy of empowering young Americans to make change through respectful discussion. This is what separates us as Aggies, and even more so as Americans. Our ability to set aside our differences and come together shows the tremendous impact Charlie had on us all, and goes to show the incredible strength of the unity of the American people through tragedy.
And so we ask, O Lord, to give rest to the soul of your departed servant, Charlie Kirk, in a place of brightness, a place of green pastures, a place of repose where all sickness, sorrow, and sighing have fled away. Pardon every sin which he has committed, whether by word or deed or thought. For you, O Lord, are a good God who loves all mankind. Amen. Howdy. My name is Kaden Gabriel, and I serve as the Public Relations Director for Pro-Life Aggies, and I'm a student spokesperson for Students for Life of America. Conflict arises when conversations stop. Charlie Kirk gave his life for this message of peace, for showing that the product of disagreement should be discussion and not violence. And it is a message our society desperately needs to hear. After all, it doesn't take more than a few moments scrolling through the comments section on one of Kirk's social media posts to see the hate he received every day for simply having conversations. But it didn't stop him. Charlie knew the purpose the Lord had for him and knew that if following God's will led to being hated by the same world that crucified its Savior, he was doing something right. He was a light in the darkness and a symbol of peace in the midst of chaos. And now on this historic day of 9/11, where we remember so many lives lost to the evil of this world, we also remember Charlie Kirk. We remember a father, a husband, son, brother, uncle, and friend. We remember a man who fought daily for peace and civility in the face of disagreement. So let us not allow fear and anger to fester within us. Instead, let us remember who the true enemy is and that the only way to defeat him is through Jesus Christ. Let us continue what Charlie Kirk started and respond with love and truth when it is not shown to us, and start conversations so that we may end conflict. Thank you.
All right, everyone, you are watching live now from Fox. That was just from Texas A&M in College Station. The students there coming together to pay the respects to Charlie Kirk and have some memories of him when he was at College Station. All right, we will take a 2-minute break on Live Now from Fox. We will be back in just moments.
There's more stuff.
Parallels a few other moments in the U.S. past in which a growing set of Americans began to identify each other as the main enemies that they would face in nearly any context.
University of South Florida history professor Kyle Burke shares some of those major inflection points.
The 1850s in the United States, with debates that ultimately culminated in the Civil War, were marked by escalating violent rhetoric and violent actions on the part of Americans against each other, who increasingly imagined that they could not share the same kind of society.
And in the 1960s and 70s, events included the assassinations of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and President John F. Kennedy, along with the Vietnam War.
There are violent groups such as the Klan engaged in vigilante and extra-legal violence. There are groups such as the Students for Democratic Society who formed the Weatherman Organization, which conceived of a kind of revolutionary violence.
Fast forward to the 2020s, the Bridging Divides initiative at Princeton University tracks acts of political violence, including those against local officials.
Just this year, we've tracked 250 incidents of threats and harassment, and that's a 9% increase from last year.
Shannon Hiller is the executive director. She says Kirk's shooting death follows other targeted shootings.
Whether targeting the CDC headquarters just recently or the assassinations in Minnesota just before that.
She says these acts further normalize violence.
We see more and more people willing to use violence as a tool in politics when they disagree. And when others see that happen, they increasingly think that it's acceptable. And that lowers the bar for others using those same tactics.
As for solutions, Hiller says it starts with rejecting political violence without calls for retribution.
The data just doesn't support that this is exclusively a left-wing problem or even exclusively right-wing problem. It's affecting Americans in different ways, but across the board.
We're watching live now from Fox. We want to continue on with some of the updates regarding Charlie Kirk here. And really across the country, vigils have been popping up, remembering and honoring Charlie Kirk. Let's show you the one in Florida from Fox 35 in Orlando with the story.
Here on the front lawn to the historic Lake County Courthouse, county residents and Charlie Kirk supporters alike filled this entire area to pray and pay their respects to this insurmountable loss. Dozens gathering in Tavares to honor the slain Charlie Kirk. Faith leaders.
I watched a video with Charlie Kirk.
County leaders and supporters gathering to pray 24 hours after Kirk was assassinated at a speaking event on a college campus in Utah.
I just couldn't believe it. I really just couldn't believe it, which is very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And no matter what side you're on, it's, we're all here.
It's very, very disturbing that what the situations have come to in this country.
In the wake of the shooting, extra eyes watching over the event in downtown Tavares. County Commissioner Anthony Sabatini, one of the event organizers.
It was really hard to come up in conservative politics in the last 10 years as a young person and not interact with Charlie at least a little bit. I happened to interact with him quite a bit, mostly because we were part of the same conservative organizations, the same institutes.
Kirk's death coming as a shock to Commissioner Sabatini and many of the people he represents.
It was very shocking, and for the things that he was doing, there wasn't a reason for it.
People joined in prayer, rising against evil.
I'm going to kick us off, so I would join all of us to be united.
Reporting in downtown Tavares tonight, I'm Kelsey Cairns, Fox 35 News.
All right, everyone, we are going to take a 2-minute break on Live Now from Fox. When we come back, more remarks from President Trump earlier today.
اوكي روحي ماشي، وانا بدي ماي والله اذا قدرت تجيب.
Yeah, we're here right now, man. It's just people standing. It is. Did you? I saw some.
Okay. Hey everyone, sorry I don't have a mic. I want to just thank everybody for coming here. I feel like I'm being led to say a prayer, so if anybody wants to join me in prayer, I would appreciate it. Bow my head, and I just pray that Lord, that you'll use me. Heavenly Father, I thank you for Charlie's life. He was young, he was only 31 years old, and yet you used him as a vessel for your kingdom. And for that, I give you glory. He was very well articulated, very well spoken. He stood up in the truth, and the truth is you, and that Christ is King, and he never backed down. No matter what everybody tried to portray him as, God, you used him. And I believe that he's in your glory now, and that he ran to you when he saw you because he believed in you. And his reward is heaven, and I pray that you cover his wife, Erica, his kids, with your love, with your mercy, with your peace, because you're the only one who can give them peace during this time, Lord. Charlie inspired so many, he inspired millions, especially young people, when we've been fed so many lies from the enemy, from the world, God used him to teach us the truth. And I thank you for that. And you have him in your glory, and we believe that fully. And I just pray, God, for his family, for his friends, for his colleagues, for the people that knew him, that were so close to him, God. I pray that you cover them in your mercy and your love, your peace, God. Because in this world, there's going to be tribulation, and there's going to be storms, and this world is not our home, and that's why there's so much suffering and so much pain, God. But we know that your reward is bigger, and we know that our reward is heaven. So I pray for our nation, I pray for our world, because we need you, God. We need you more than ever. And I think this has been eye-opening. And we never thought that this could happen to someone who loved you so much, God. But you have a purpose for everything. And so we come humbly before you, God. And I come humbly before you to thank you for his life. I thank you for his life, God. He was a warrior for you. And I think Charlie would have appreciated us being here playing worship music, God, because above anything, above his family, above his kids and his wife, God, you were his priority, and you used him so well. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that he was able to touch people that didn't know what the gospel was, that didn't know what the truth was, and you revealed to them what the truth is. And the truth is that you're real, and that you love us, and that you have a purpose for us, and that we're safe through you, God. And I pray for the people that maybe are on the fence of whether or not to believe in you, God. I pray that you open up their hearts. I pray that they have that mustard seed in their heart so that you can use them, God, and you can open up their eyes to the truth. I thank you for Charlie, God. Please be with his family. Cover them in your love, God, your perfect love, your genuine love. I pray for everybody here, God. I pray that everybody can go home safely. And only you know what they desire in their heart, God. And only you know their brokenness, but I know that you're with us in our brokenness. So I pray for us. Thank you for Charlie, God. And I give you all the glory because he was a soldier for you. Thank you, God. I pray this all in Jesus' name.
This is a turning point. Don't let Charlie die in vain.
Father God, I just want to lift up this generation of young people that you would just anoint them with your Holy Spirit, Lord, you and Charlie. You would just give them boldness to speak the truth in love, that you would just guide them and just fill them with your spirit. And I thank you for his example and his faith, and I just pray that you would just allow this piece of wheat that fell to the ground Lord, you have your purpose here. You died on the cross. All of your disciples were fasting and distraught. You persecuted Jesus and over the church and to grow your kingdom, Lord. And so we just pray that you flood your spirit on our next generation, Lord. And thank you for distract with evil, and you prevail over all of it. Yes, Lord.
Lord, you hear every tear that falls, and you hear every single word that your children speak, Lord. We are crying out to you, Lord, and we just pray, Lord, that you will. Lord, your plan is out of our minds. We don't know what your plan is, but we're trusting you, Lord. You are sovereign, and you have used his life. And Lord, you have brought him home. He is in your arms now, Lord, and he is in paradise, and he would not want to come back. He is with you, Lord, and he is just rejoicing in heaven right now because he's in the presence of the Lord. And I just pray that we can look up to you, Lord, and we can see that hope, even though we're in this broken world, Lord. I pray for you, Lord. I know that might sound hard, but Lord, I just pray that you can big time. I pray that whoever it was, they will see your power, Lord, and that you will rise above it all. Lord, you are the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and I just pray that you bring hell and fire onto this man and that you convict him of his sins, Lord. And that's for anyone. Everyone is dead in their sin. And Lord, I just pray that this rises up more Christians, Lord. Same thing in Acts, Lord. Even when we are persecuted and when the church is persecuted, it doubles, it triples in size. And Lord, we are going to spread out. This is us taking a seed and we are spreading out that seed, Lord. This is the nation, and we are going to encourage each other, and we are going to be the light unto the world. We are going to be the salt and the light, as Jesus talks about, Lord. And I just pray, Lord, for his family, Lord. And they are overcome with grief. And let them grieve, Lord. Help them not feel shame in this, Lord. And just let them grieve. Have helping hands, Lord. Lord, I just pray that you send your angels to watch over them, guard them. Lord, I pray that any lies of the devil is cast out in the name of Jesus Christ. Your blood is over them, Lord, and that you will protect them. Their house is watched over you. I pray that no lies, no schemes, no problems with sleeping, Lord. I pray that they can get rest. I pray that you will not. Lord, I just pray that you protect them and let your angels guard over them. Lord, with his children, they rise up and they see, my father was a good example of a servant for you, Lord. And that they can look at their father's eyes in pictures and they can see, my father was a servant for the Lord. Lord, you used Charlie and you are using us to speak Charlie's truth that he spoke to you, Lord. You used him as a vessel, and I just pray that you use us as vessels too, Lord. I pray that we speak out in boldness. We don't tiptoe and cower, and that we aren't timid, Lord, that we speak out in boldness, your truth and your love. And Lord, he has founded this organization, and that this organization will stay planted because it is on a firm foundation, Lord. You are the firm foundation. And I just pray that this brings a whole new nation of people who are turned towards you, Lord. Lord, you are the basis of our nation. We started on a Christian nation. And I just pray that we will come back to our roots, that we will come back and we will be surrounded with love and joy and peace. And Lord, in the midst of the trials, Lord, you took a nap during a storm. You were the one who decided I need to take a second. And Lord, you let us breathe and you protect us and watch over us. And Lord, I just pray for everybody here that your spirit just comes over and washes them with comfort. And the same for his family, and the same for people who knew him personally, and just for all the people that were companions of him, and just people that were close to him, Lord, that knew him personally, Lord. His light has shined to them, and that we can extend that light out to others. I just pray that you will help convict us, and that you will help us to see our plan that you have given us, Lord. You have given us each a gift, if that's speaking out in boldness, if that's even, Lord, just debating with meekness and fear of you, Lord. 1 Peter 3:15 says that we sanctify you in our hearts and that we speak out with peace and that we have meekness and fear in you, and we are willing to give an answer to any man that asks for a reason, Lord. And I just pray that you continue to bring this truth unto other people and that you don't let us cower behind and that we will stand firm on you, Lord.